On the blue side, Afreeca Freecs could ban Yuumi, but on the red side, you forced to ban Varus. So Yuumi is up, and Keria is picking up Yuumi again.
And there's Aphelios Nautilus.
One more time.
Let's do it again.
Oh, by the way, Ben had also 100% win rate on Nautilus. It was 4-0 before the last game, but it's 4-1. It's ruined because of DRX.
DRX, well, we'll see whether it's going to be 5-1 at the end of this particular game. It's game 2s that DRX really struggle with. They want to make sure that they're... Oh, are we just going to get Team Rocket? We could just get Team Rocket right here. As Yuumi Ezreal to be locked in. Chovy could just pick Zoe. And that's another way of playing out this comp, but Olaf is another great choice. And being able to stop the Olaf from just running at the Aphelios is something that a Nautilus can't do, because Ragnarok exists.
Unless you pick up Morgana mid lane.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put past DRX to just pick Morgana and put it. They could put it top lane if they wanted to. And that's another Trundle to come out from Spirit. And that will be exactly the same first 3 picks as in game number 1, just in a slightly different order.
It seems like really boring draft, but it's legit right now. Those 3 picks are just popping up.
Yeah, it's really good.
In LCK, so I think it's more about the playstyle. They had the leads from the first Drake in the game 1, but they just inted super hard on the top side skirmishes. So I think they just need to think about more rotation.
Yeah, I think it's smart of Afreeca not to think it was their draft's problem.
Oh yeah.
They're going to have to up their play if they want to make something work out here. Is LeBlanc going to be banned? Pantheon going to be taken away as well. I don't know whether DRX feel the need to ban Twisted Fate because Fly was invisible in game 1. And of course, I don't know whether Afreeca are going to ban Morgana. They could, but I don't know whether that is going to be the priority.
Yeah, and I don't think DRX is gonna care. Oh, they banned it themselves.
Yeah.
So much pressure. And also, I don't think DRX is gonna care about Galio when they have Yuumi and Ezreal already.
They could just ban it, or the Syndra, I guess.
Oh yeah, I think Syndra ban is more better.
Yeah.
Or
the Asol.
Asol.
And Fly is our resident Asol main. It's him and BDD that are our most known Aurelion Soul players. Oh my god.
Is this 2020?
It's 2017 Crown. He's come back and possessed the spirit of Fly, but no, it's not going to happen. Different purple mage in the mid lane could be the option. I like picking away the Zoe from DRX's composition. Will be very face up, but Zoe not a bad blind pick.
Oh, I just want to see Zed mid lane. Against Zoe, because
Chovy has been playing it.
Yeah, that is also true, but also Zed plus Yuumi. That is one of the
actual Zumi?
Yeah, a nightmare for Aphelios.
It's Chovy's mid Gragas! He's been playing this so much in solo queue, that is really, really fun. The anti-synergy could be a thing here with the Kennen being propped in, but I still absolutely love it. See what Doran is going to decide to go with. Man, that's exciting. Back to the Kennen for the AoE team fight.
It's just pokers.
Oh, what a day. What a time to be alive, would it?
Yeah. I like the way how they draft. They always prepare some Joker picks. And
also, like, this is a Zoe's worst nightmare, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's the easiest alley-oop possible. Like, you see a portal jump, and then Gragas is like, here, catch! And she's like, I don't want to. Oh, wait, crap, here I am. I guess I'm catching it. As Kiin is going to be taking the Jayce into the Kennen matchup, this is the benefit of being on red side for Afreeca, is the fact that they do make sure that Kiin's matchup is the one that he wants, based on what the champions selected are on the side of DRX. But DRX's comp this time looks much scarier. Often you look at an Olaf, and I know LS has stated that he doesn't really like the Olaf very much. Olaf Yuumi is a very different combo to any other style of Olaf. I'm okay with Olaf Karma or Olaf Yuumi. Olaf Yuumi's even worse, because you can allow him to get backline access even if the game is sitting past 25 minutes. So his relevance is still there.
I mean, I can see the reason why LS really hates Olaf, because I think his late game teamfight, even like mid-game teamfights are not great. You know?
Yeah,
if you
right.
go in, you just literally die in
And
1 second.
you're just like a meat shield. That's all you
Yeah.
are. You just build health. And
Yeah.
you're like, look at me.
and you have no damage as well. But
Yeah.
this time around, you have Yuumi on your team, and you can actually be a great delivery for the Yuumi, and also you can actually deal the damage when you actually survive as Olaf. As
And
long
also,
as possible.
The beautiful thing about it is Olaf is actually just a host for the Yuumi. The plague that is Yuumi. I know a lot of you solo queue players do agree that Yuumi is not necessarily the greatest thing to go up against. When she's on top of a Ragnarok Olaf, you get to put her ultimate anywhere you want because you're free to walk wherever you want. So that is very, very scary. That could set up Doran to get some of the really sick flanks that we've seen Kennens gather, especially this week. Noguri certainly demonstrating that you can get solo killed in lane and then hard carry a game immediately afterwards. We'll see whether Doran's going to be able to do the same thing. As this is Chovy's mid Gragas as well. A lot of reliability when it comes to landing the Comet, because you slow them with your barrel, and then Comet's going to land almost every time. As Fly has gone Ignite Electrocute Zoe.
I mean, he did that last time, and he actually won against Faker. So I think it's already showed up, and it's.
Can he get the win for 300 games? Yeah. This is the game that
Million
DRX generally lose.
Yeah.
They're not exactly the best game twos. So let's see whether the difference of the mid and top lane are going to be what allow Afreeca to make this one work. And I do like it, right? They had the same core, but now they've added so much more mid-game poke potency in the Jayce and the Zoe. So basically what they've done is accelerated the composition that they had last time around with their mid and top lane picks. Not by a lot in comparison to a Mordekaiser and a TF, but by enough, I think. As 14-3, Pyosik's not doing too bad.
Yeah. Pyosik improved so much from his Spring Split performance.
Yeah.
So I just really love to see his early game right now, because last time it was kind of torture.
In comes Spirit. Chovy doesn't have Body Slam yet, and he's already flashed. The Spirit gets underneath the turret. He's just going to tank that one up and survive. So First Blood already over to Fly.
This is all about Trundle. Nowadays, you don't farm with junglers. You always look for level 2, level 3 early gank, early kind of cheesy ganking. And yeah, Spirit, he already pulled off with his Trundle, and Electrocute Zoe with Ignite is already popping off. So I really like to see this.
Oh, level 2 gained here, and Deft and Keria were up in the lane. Not really what you want, as Chovy looking for Fly. Still just level 2, and remember, Fly had to invest both of his summoner spells also, so now an opportunity for Pyosik to make his way towards mid lane. That is where their summoner spell advantage does lie. Doran is getting slaughtered here in this matchup, which is, you know, something that Jayce certainly can do against Kennen.
Or Kiin.
Yeah, or just Kiin.
Yeah.
Kiin and Nuguri. See them on the Jayce, you get very, very frightened. Chovy should be able to deny this cannon creep, actually, and he does. Fly gets the experience, but not the gold.
And yeah, the more I think about this kind of draft, it feels like it's just literally DRX versus LCK, you know? Because all the Afreeca Freecs picks are just LCK standout picks, you know? But DRX is just trying to just break those kind of stereotype that we need. Aphelios and Nautilus.
Oh, Hook is going to land there onto Deft, down to 100 as Mystic wants to tank up this turret, but I don't know whether he's going to be able to. The heal comes down as Keria is just bopping him. The cube just barely not enough range. As now, once again, it is going to be Chovy falling down. This time, Doran turns up, and they are going to be able to equalize. Undertow barely missing onto Fly there. Ben's getting the rotation in, but Control Ward going to spot him out. As this is bloody already, although no one really to get a massive advantage.
And Chovy is already struggling. He also picked up the TP.
And the
So-
double
아마
Doran
선
through.
블루 했을 거야. 여기 붙어서 미드 이렇게 한번 가볼게. 1레벨 큐지.
Okay, they started blue.
플레이
I'm
쓰면서
100%
해볼게
sure.
내가.
Okay, I'm
용준이
gonna
조심.
flash.
빠져봐.
Level 1 Q, check. Going in.
나왔어. 야 이거 밀고 나
Push. Easy. All planned.
Yep. Calculated as Pyosik is getting smashed by Spirit here, but he does have Keria with him. He's going to hop out though, and now Chovy's trying to rotate over. The Troll got so much of his health back there, but Chovy should have the body slam. Gets on in there, finds the barrel, and there's the kill for Chovy. Actually huge for the Gragas here in this lane. As Mystic not going to be dealing with Deft too well here as he hops underneath his turret, but he'll be absolutely fine. All about late game here for Mystic, as we know. Funny that our two resident LPL 80 carries do like the late game these days, but that is certainly the MO of Mystic. Wasn't the LPL as well to a certain extent. Chovy going to have his body slam blocked, and that's what caused his demise. Pyosik somehow misses that undertow, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Currently, they're just trading some kills. I'm not sure who's gonna be happier with these kind of trades. It seems like. Does he die here?
Oh, not quite. Ah, but then the Troll moves on over and takes him down. Okay.
But this time around, roaming Yuumi is here, so I thought he could actually save him, but Spirit get enough damage. But as you mentioned it, Chovy is back in the game because of this kill.
Yeah, it's actually huge.
Yeah.
Well, and you can also see that Chovy is slaughtering the farm.
And also on the bot lane, is slight difference between AD carries, but still, you know, as Ezreal Yuumi, you always want to farm early because you have greatest late game. Oh, he's getting denied.
Oh, massively denied.
Massive.
That cannon creep, that's just dead. Fly, I think, managed to share experience with Spirit on that one, but you can see it's a full level for Chovy, who's died twice, remember, in this lane.
He died twice, and Fly didn't die at all, by the way.
Yeah, 1-0-1 Zoe getting crushed is just a crazy thing to think about. And it just shows the laning prowess of A, Gragas, and B, just Chovy, right?
So I think it's, again, it's all on Kiin to control this early game.
Mystic gonna get queued there, and that's 300 health. Now for this Aphelios, Pyosik down, was on top of a ward. That's why Mystic was unable to really fight back.
Yeah, it's, again, it's all about Kiin, but when Afreeca Freecs is all about Kiin, they most of the games they lost, by the way.
What?
It was
the
2014 April.
Was that the last time mid Gragas was played?
By Najin Shield Goon.
Oh my god. He's a coach right now, right?
I think so.
I think he's over in the LPL.
So
that is crazy. As Fly gets booped back, but Chovy just sending a message
that he can one-shot Zoe.
Yeah.
Whenever he wants.
Well, Pyosik not going to quite find that axe, as Ben probably would have liked a Blast Cone to be there, but going to.
I mean, again, it's Afreeca Freecs who can actually control the early game Drakes, by the way. They have Aphelios, they have Nautilus, they have Electrocute, Ignite, Zoe, and Trundle in the jungle. But they are getting controlled by DRX already in the early game. And this is not a great start already.
This is just 100% lane kingdom. As Chovy body slams just to get out of the potential bubble, but it doesn't even come out. And Chovy, by the way, he's ahead in gold by 400. Died twice, by the way. But I think Afreeca, they're waiting for that the Kiin bus to leave the station or the bus terminal. It's Mystic almost just dead here. Oh my! How did that land, Deft? You madman! Now he's just looking for the Arcane Shift to come back off cooldown, and Mystic, he has to go home again. This is a disaster. And that turret plate is just sitting there waiting for Deft and Keria to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, their bot lane and mid lane in getting just flame horizon.
This feels like complete demoralization.
Yeah.
After Afreeca lost game 1, man. That's what it looks like to me. This is a sign of a team that have just been outplayed to the point where it's even overflowed into the next game. Because this is the tried and true Afreeca comp. This is what they need to get generally in order to win games. And DRX have taken it and dismantled it in front of them.
I guess this is the game that it shows DRX is really scary that if they have great draft as well.
Yeah.
Because they already have great players, you know? So the game 1, they tested that if they can pull off this kind of draft, and they did. So CVMX is like, okay guys, this time around, easy draft. Because you already did the cast.
Yep. Well, like, it reminds me of like the Ender's Game theory, and I don't know whether you've said this, but during the beginning, I've only watched the movie, haven't actually read the book. Probably should, very famous one. And Pyosik going to take a bit of damage here, looking to try and take down his blue buff as Doran's going to turn up. Maybe not what he really wants, but gets a few autos there and actually trades relatively well. What I was saying is like the idea is to win a fight that also wins all future fights, and I feel like that's what's happened exactly here. For DRX, what they've done is they've won so hard that Afreeca are never going to be able to compete with them again. And I don't think that's necessarily 100% true, but it's looking like it's working here for Game 2 at least. Unless
Kiin 1v9 this game with his poke, it seems like it's already easy game set it up for Afreeca Freecs. Fly is trying some trades, and also...
In the meantime, Doran not going to find the damage there on the Proto Belt, which is unfortunate, is now Pyosik looking for Spirit. But Fly's got a Ghost, and he's looking to try and catch up. Pyosik down to about 100, and he is going to go down. The Subjugate does it in the end. It's Fly down so low. That one caster creep auto not going to be enough to get through the Corrupting Potion. And now Fly will get towards the top side and is going to survive. Ooh, was thinking about actually going for a little cheeky gank here. As the bubble almost lands onto Doran. I think that was a really smart choice to at least look for that. Afreeca do find themselves in the lead, so this is good. Maybe trying to shore up some of the problems. But bottom lane is a bit of a disaster, and mid lane is still a problem. I mean, look at how far Fly is behind. You're right, it's the Kiin bust that we're looking for.
Yeah.
As Dredge Line lands, Depth Charge comes in, but there's the final chapter. True Shot Barrage is going to come over the top. Moonlight Vigil to answer as Keria hops out. Crescendum is on here for Mystic as now Doran looks for the ult. He doesn't actually have it available, and Mystic over in the alcove is able to win out the fight. And Pyosik, can you just kill Mystic, please? As Deft gets caught up, it's a double kill, and Mystic's just running around. The Undertow's not going to land. It's a disaster for DRX. The Severum gets all of his health back, and this is what Afreeca were looking for in Game 1. They're back in this one.
That was actually great play by Afreeca Freecs. That was so many TPs all into the bot lane, but at the end, they couldn't end. They couldn't finish the Mystic and Ban because they didn't have enough damage in the early game.
They needed someone to auto-attack them. It was crazy. Really well played by Ben. His peeling, making sure that Deft couldn't get anything done was absolutely fantastic, but let's have a look at the mid lane again, as I feel like DRX, ever since we started talking them up, have started going a little bit overexcited, one could say.
Overexcited, but as you mentioned, he almost one-shot with the ultimate combo. But anyways, this is most important skirmishes that it existed in this game. But that was a great start by DRX side, obviously, because they fought back really well, and it was almost one-sided, but Doran,
oh man,
unfortunately, he
missed Proto Belt again, and he missed Proto Belt again, unfortunately. He flashed first. Proto Flash probably would have insta-give Mystic there, but hindsight's 2020. Pyosik misses most of his axes as well, and where it all just falls down.
And Mystic ending is ready.
Oh yeah.
It's not Fat Deft Ezreal anymore, and he has no shields. So I'm 100% sure that this is the setup that Afreeca was looking for, and the objective control is just way too easy for Afreeca right now. And yeah, I mean, still DRX, they really have to make just random skirmish to happen, because that's all about their competition.
Oh, 100%. Deft not going to be taken down here as he's parked in the mid lane now. Decent early items for the Ezreal. And the gold is nothing insurmountable. Kiin's pushing topside. Jayce is in a great position. Doran left a little bit to be desired in his last attempt.
Because we always talked about how Afreeca Freecs is in a bad
there's
spot.
the barrel, and does manage to find the body slam as well, but there's a grab at him. Mystic going to avoid the barrel as well, as Spirit was thinking about going for the dive. Pyosik is going to be here. Now, Mystic extraordinarily low. True Shot Barrage had just been used and wasn't able to find the Aphelios. So, I mean, this is one of the powers of Chovy, is the fact that you're basically better Lee Sin in this moment. Something my friend Spawn back in the OPL used to say a lot about good old Gragas. He's able to do what Lee Sin can do in like 3 abilities in just 1 ability. So we'll see whether Chovy can actually get that one to work, as finds a Proto Belt. And, Ben's going to tank up this turret just a little bit. 15.5 minutes into this game, an Infernal Soul is what we're contending with. Definitely great for both of these teams. As Doran finds the stun here onto Kiin. Kiin's still able to rush forward. Okay, can we actually get enough damage? As Hex Drinker does so much work for Kiin. And he gets underneath that turret, doesn't get enough damage on that last auto. And Keria comes in with the zoomies. That was so close to a solo kill.
But anyway, still, this is great for Afreeca Freecs. It's not only Kiin that he must try really hard to win this game. It's Mystic, who got the triple kill on the bot lane. So it's already way too easy to just make this happen for Afreeca Freecs.
Okay, well, DRX guarantee them the Rift Herald by stopping the back there on Mystic, but also with their positioning. Having your bottom lane mid does mean you'll always have that man advantage, even if it's not as evident when it is a cat on a book.
I mean, it's not that worthy than when you compare it to first header.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you can get the mid turret with this header, then it's worth.
Well, Chovy finds himself a barrel, gets rid of Kiin. And that's on a pretty low cooldown, so Chovy's not too worried about that one. And it's this gentleman right here, Mystic. It's going to be the problem here this game. Even Inferno getting a fair bit of damage onto Deft, as you can see. See what the build is here for Deft this time around. Likely to be back to the Iceborne Gauntlet, because he doesn't have the same level of support that he had in game number 1. Gonna need to be a bit more self-sufficient. Doesn't want to be two-shot by good old Mystic. CS still very good here for Deft. 10.6 before 20 minutes.
And also for Chovy, he's still ahead, so I think they should just wait for Ezreal's second item, because right now it's Afreeca who really wants to take the fight, even though their team competition is not about skirmishes.
Yep, and there's the ulti from Doran. He has it for the fight this time around, as Kiin is going to be the first one taken down. Mystic is still alive though, as there's the explosion of Moonlight Vigil damage. As Deft is still up. Mystic down to about half, as Pyosik looking to try and get out. Bubble's not going to land, but Chovy is very, very low. There's the barrel as Ben goes golden underneath the turret, and Fly is dancing in and out of this fight. Picks up a turret shot, but is going to be all right in the end, as it's 1-for-1 as the dust settles.
That was trade between their top laners, but yeah, I mean, that's the power of the Aphelios, even though you could kite it really easily with Ezreal Yuumi, but still there is Aphelios who deals so much damage at this point with the early triple kills in the game.
Oh yeah.
They still managed to get the first turret, but I'm not sure what's gonna happen in the late game right now.
Late game is certainly looking like a scary place, and I think it's all on Chovy. If he can knock Mystic out of position, Mystic doesn't have cleanse, he's going to have to build a QSS as soon as he can, because you can't just flash out of a barrel. You can only QSS out of it, very similar to a kick. So it's all about whether Chovy can deny Mystic his team fights, and then whether they can get through Kiin afterwards. So we have a look at the Summoner spell cooldowns and the ultimate cooldowns. Very close to getting that Subjugate back up here for Spirit, as we're fighting over the first Infernal Drake of the game. Kiin in flanking position, slicing Maelstrom up here for Doran. DRX have all of their tools apart from their summoner spells in order to get this fight started. Bubble lands onto Pyosik, but no worries there, as it's going to be a 50-50 on this Drake, as it looks like DRX have picked up control. Dredgeline not going to find the mark. There's the ulti as Pyosik does pick up the Drake, and now slicing Maelstrom into the backline, but Mystic is still alive, avoids the True Shot barrage, and I have a feeling we're going to experience a certain number of years, but no, DRX do manage to get themselves out of the way. A 5-man barrel ain't too bad, but Chovy gets into an awkward position. Moonlight Vigil goes wide. DRX should be able to walk away with this one. There's the Proto Belt and the Body Slam, and Chovy is home free.
Even though Mystic didn't have flash and heal in this team fight, Kiin was just super strong in this fight. So he could push them out towards the best spot when it comes to team fight. So here we go again. Like, it's mid lane again. Afreeca Freecs is controlling, and Mystic was overstepped a little bit, but he had flash this time, so he could just kite back. And look at the damage.
Yeah, and I mean, Mystic should have been dead, right? Like, this was a pretty good opportunity for Doran to get into the backline, but stayed a little bit closer to his team, and Mystic just outranges it. And although he gets snared by the last chapter, it's just not enough.
And yeah. Look at the Kiin position. He's just ready to jump in with pokes and his abilities. He just went back, and he's gonna deal most of the damage in this team fight, and with Mystic in the same position.
Yeah, and Mystic is so safe, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a 5-man ulti, it's not bad, but there's not enough damage here on Chovy.
And also, I already mentioned that if you want to play against Aphelios, you just need to one-shot him. Otherwise, he's gonna kill everyone in your team.
Well, DRX still looking for fights. Ain't gonna stop them from doing that. As Pyosik has his little cat with him. Deft is taking care of the mid lane. Deft still farming very, very well. Now has his Mura Mana transformation and his Iceborne Gauntlet. But I'm looking at Mystic. He's got his 2 items already. Only a few hundred gold away from his QSS. Pyosik's going to look for Fly. And the mid difference nowhere near as pronounced as it was in game number 1.
And this time around, the CS difference doesn't matter because they got so much gold from the globals.
Oh yeah.
So the gold difference is now 3k ahead for Afreeca Freecs.
Yep. And Baron has spawned a couple of minutes ago. DRX, the fact that they picked up the Infernal Drake is actually huge for them. Mostly because denying that from both Kiin and Mystic is really, really big.
And they can also delay so much time for this Ezreal Yuumi to pop off in the late game as well.
Also get some time for Doran to have enough items to try and kill Mystic. He desperately needs a Void Staff. Does have his Zhonya's though. Chovy, he's sitting on a fair bit of CDR. That's what he's sort of been building towards here with the Fiendish Codex. Looks like a Lichbane will be coming in for the one-shot potential. As looking for Fly at the minute. As alright, here's the setup. You can see that, yeah, Afreeca are well and truly ready for this. Everyone in the area, Pyosik, going to be able to give that information over. Spy looking to take down this turret. He will do so. The barrel comes in. Bubble's going to land onto Chovy though, and he just whiffs everything. Protobelt, flash, and that's the amount of respect that you had to give after just straight up missing all of his buttons. That is unlike Chovy. Choky might be there. Have you checked the desk? Nope, still Chovy. Doran looking for Kiin, or Kiin looking for Doran. There's a slicing Maelstrom used defensively. Is Kiin going to actually land the damage there on the Shock Blast? Flash has to be used from Doran, and that's what they needed to win any sort of team fight. And there's 40 seconds left on this Infernal Drake, so Doran's going to have no tools when that comes back up.
I was going to mention about Doran because this is a game that can actually easily pop off because Ban has no exhaust and Mystic has no cleans, which is so great for the great news for the Kennen. But yeah, Kiin knew it, so he cut out. the Doran on the Raptors, and as you mentioned it, in 10 seconds there is a Inferno Drake, and this is great additional bonus for Zoe and Jayce at the same time.
And now it looks like DRX are going to give away the Infernal Drake. Deft parked in the mid lane. We only need a few members to be able to pick this one up. Oh, it's a good attempt. Because now we're even when it comes to the Drakes. Afreeca probably with the better ones. Over 3,000 gold, still the lead for Afreeca. It's well and truly an uphill battle. Zhonya's Hourglass completed. For Chovy, for Doran, Deft has his armor item. Is it going to be enough against this Aphelios? The short answer is no.
Yeah, he already got Mystic already got the QSS as well.
Yep. So QSS Flash available to get out of any barrels that are going to be flying by.
But we already saw that how Kennen is impactful if there is no exhaust on him with Naguri.
Oh yeah.
So I think there is still chance for Doran, obviously, but in the other hand, Kiin is playing so good and so well on Jayce. He's just pushing side 24/7 and also in the team fight with Mystic. That's the point, by the way. With Mystic, he always positions with him and make him safe.
Chovy's having a bit of fun here, throwing barrels around. Well, not going to take too much damage from that one, though, as the Gromp is going to reset. Deft has his 40% CDR.
And yeah, it seems like Kiin got the blue buff from Fly. And I would definitely give blue buff to Kiin.
Oh, 100%.
If you have Kiin in your team.
Give him anything he wants and say, do you have any good cushions for your back? That's where I'm going to be parked. 100% agree. Rallying Projectile. Starting to hurt a little bit as Thean's Unholy Grail is completed for Keria. See whether it's going to be the Ardent Sensor next and whether that's going to be enough. As Doran going for the Oblivion Orb. Still, I think there's enough magic resist on the side of Afreeca for Doran to really require a Void Staff at this point in time. I would certainly challenge the Oblivion Orb pickup because there's no real healing that you need to worry about. There's nothing that really is an issue. I mean, yeah, Trundle has a lot of healing in his kit. There's a heal literally on Mystic, and Severum exists, but there's no Yuumis. There's no Nidalees. It's not the kind of comp where you super acquire a Morellonomicon.
I think he remembers the moment that when he TP'd on the bot lane.
Aha.
Aphelios literally healed up with Conqueror, so...
So maybe he's trying to deny Death Stance
Yep.
and Conqueror and things like that instead.
So I think it's still fine choice by Doran, and also it's not about Kennen 1v9 this game. There is also Chovy, there's also Deft, and Yuumi with Keria.
Yep. As Spirit is going to win the Smite fight on the blue buff.
There is still one-shot potential, but the point is they really need to one-shot Aphelios.
Yeah, they need to actually do it, right?
Yeah.
They need to show us what this comp's capable of. Like they did so beautifully in Game 1. As Chovy just going to body slam out of the way of that after picking up that Empowered Shock Blast. Rest of DRX are in the area as Deft dives over the wall. Kiin takes a fair bit of damage there. And there's the dredge line. Final chapter lands. Ben is going to flash his way out. Missed Spirit in the front line right now, but Mystic is very, very safe. And DRX now are missing a whole lot of their tools. Doran is still there with the Slicing Maelstrom as Spirit. He has Flash. He can't get over that wall, but that's an exhaust eaten here as Pyosik has to flash to get himself out of the way, but the bubble is going to arm, and Spirit is now on top of him. Zumi's collected, and maybe he's been baited. He certainly has. So I don't know whether I'd give that to Pyosik, but it did work out in the end. Dredgeline collected there from Chovy. Zhonya's utilized Ben down very, very low, and now Doran's looking for Mystic in the back line. Not going to be able to get in there far enough, and Kiin's still alive as well. They've got a lot of damage, and here it is brought to bear as Deft needs to try and win this fight by himself. Keria going to be there, but he needs to be a W bot as the Mystic shots are landing. And Deft, if he lands an E sorry, a WEQ onto Mystic. Mystic would have died there, but Mystic does get too much of his health back. And Afreeca, man, that was actually much closer than it could have been.
Yep, Kiin got pushed out by Ezreal. And look at here, he literally just got pushed out by Deft. So it started pretty well for DRX, even though they couldn't one-shot Aphelios. It was literally 4v5. And still during the fight, Afreeca Freecs, they tried to chase DRX team composition, but look at that. He's still looking for Kiin. He literally pushed out and flashed out, making flash out in the team fight. So yeah, I thought it could be really great for DRX, but there is TP for Kiin at the same time. So he TP'd back with the full HP and just demolished all the members of DRX.
Yeah, the story in live was actually the Infernal Drake going over to Afreeca. Mystic utilizes his QSS very, very effectively there. And yeah, there's a certain number that we want to talk about. But you can see DRX fighting around a Baron right now as we're looking for another 5v5. A lot of the tools back available, not a lot of the flashes, but Chovy has his. True Shot Barrage goes completely wide. Stretchline also not going to find the mark. Mystic, all right, Chovy just going to dive on forward, and now Mystic is all by himself. No flash, no chance. His fly's taken out as well. And now it's not the front line missing, but the damage missing apart from Kiin. This could just be Baron going over to DRX as they take down a Nautilus as the icing on the cake.
That kind of decisiveness was needed by DRX. They just decide to just pull them off on the Nashor pit, and they knew that Aphelios used all the summoner spells before the last team fight. So that was great engaged by Chovy. He did his job, one-shot Aphelios with Doran.
Yep. And now they're going to be able to take this Baron for free. They do lose their inner turret in mid lane, but Chovy goes back and makes sure that there's no inhibitor turrets going down. Is this Baron going to be enough to actually win them the game? I don't think so just yet. They're going to need to win another one of these fights, but you can see exactly what this comp can do. As Chovy jumps onto Mystic, QSS not enough when you've got Body Slam, Explosive Cast, and then a one-man slicing Maelstrom to show Afreeca exactly what their Aphelios is worth.
And also, that last chapter was just perfect.
Yeah.
At the top, because during while DRX is one-shotting Aphelios on the bottom side, that last chapter stopped all the members from Afreeca Freecs. So that was great play by Keria as well. He's currently didn't die at all.
Yeah, he's James Bond on the bottom side of the map, 007, very close to 100% kill contribution as well, only missing out on one of them. So we're having a look at the goal difference. Afreeca were on their way to just extending this game and getting further and further ahead. Now with this Baron that's already up to a 1700 power play, DRX are going to be able to move into the lead after a turret or two. You can see Doran moving down to the bottom lane. He doesn't have teleport though, so DRX are going to have to be careful. Fly's going to look for bubbles. Does find one there into the back line, but no one's able to follow up just yet.
And Doran is pushing bot lane in the meantime. And their rotation setup is already looking great.
Yeah, this is really clean actually from DRX. They play safely enough. They're going to guarantee the next turret as well. So now the gold is dead even. Deft even able to walk up to this turret, which I would have thought would be a little bit more dangerous than that. Ben poking his head out. Chovy going to get tagged by that empowered shock blast. And now Kiin moving over towards the side. Could be a flank opportunity here as Chovy still just guarding those base gates. And another inner turret going to fall down here in favor of DRX.
When Afreeca Freecs is behind, there is not many engaged tools by them. So it's all about Aphelios or
Nautilus.
And it seems like it's not happening.
There's a lot of siege minions here as well that Doran is guarding, and an inhibitor to go down. You're exactly right. There's just no options. As Afreeca just have to wait for DRX to decide to pull the trigger. They're just not going to. Oh, Ben looks for the dredge line, but he's not going to find it. Now DRX are going in. There's the final chapter. Mystic not going to be able to get any autos off just yet, but Pyosik's down very, very low. And there is the Moonlight Vigil. Slicing Maelstrom from Doran. He goes golden as well as Ben, soaking so much damage. And now Chovy adding some catastrophe to the fight, but Mystic avoids all of that damage. And now Deft might be in his awaiting arms Mystic not going to be able to chase after for too much longer. A big zoom as we've got Kiin going back to base looking for the teleport. Now he's going to get into that Dragon Pit of Spirit. Going to get kited by the barrels, but now Kiin comes in. Shock Blast lands, True Shot Barrage there from Deft. Don't know whether it's going to be enough though as 5 members of Afreeca are bearing down. Doran not going to be available for another 30 seconds as Deft is just taken down. And Afreeca, yes, they lose an inhibitor, but they're going to win the fight in the end. Not too many objectives, but 10 seconds, and that Infernal Drake is up, and that's Infernal Soul for the Aphelios comp.
And yeah, even though they lost mid inhibitor, that Kiin TPing behind them, it's again Kiin with TP. It looks great, and it seems like they're just getting both at the same time. Bot lane inhibitor with Infernal Soul.
And look, if I was Doran, I would be teleporting towards where this dragon is and trying my very best to try and deny this, because if this Infernal Soul goes down, I don't see DRX winning a team fight. But it's not going to do it. Doesn't have the vision that we have, of course. So, DRX, they overstep, and they lose an inhibitor turret bottom lane, they lose Infernal Soul, and they're not able to take double inhibitors. We have a look at this team fight once again.
We already mentioned that how important to one-shot Aphelios with one skill combo, but that is not happening, and also all 5 members are on the one side, which is so easy to play against them. I literally thought that one of the DRX member should just flank somewhere or just doing something in the other lane, but they decide to group as 5, which is such a great news for Afreeca Freecs. Even though they do not have so many engage tools, there is still some tools with Nautilus and Aphelios, so they managed to engage on them and try to keep chase them with TP as well on the top. So that was great chase, and again, Afreeca Freecs is leading the game, it seems like.
Yeah, 2,000 gold in the lead, but Infernal Soul very much changes that. We see the little blip of gold advantage that DRX managed to pick up before they threw it all away. And now we're sitting at a post 35 minutes, where, look, 35 minutes was always the meme over in the LPL for WE. We have 3 WE players on the Rift for Afreeca Freecs right now, so they are at full power, and certainly their composition states exactly that. 4-1 and 7 for Mystics Aphelios, just trying to prove that game number 1 was a blip, and that his Aphelios does deserve to be banned every single game, and I think most of us are in agreement about that one. Blade of the Ruin King done here for Deft, just looking for his Mercurial Scimitar as that final item. And look, Deft can still possibly carry a team fight, right?
Yeah.
As, okay, got last chapter coming down, a Spirit, didn't take him very low. Does flash. True Shot Barrage is eaten by a Banshee's Veil. It's definitely high value as body slam for Chovy to get himself out of the way. Dredgeline barely misses there from Ben. It's Mystic. Always have to have eyes on him. Pyosik gonna get bubbled. This is really dangerous. Shock Blast is going to land. Now Pyosik gonna need a few zoomies to get himself back to relevance, but relevance is something that's going to be very hard for him to hold on to. Doran has a very cool hack, but doesn't have a Void Stuff. And he's also not here.
Yeah, it's all about poking. Both teams can possibly poke to each other, so it's all about kiting. And it seems like it's a bit hard for DRX side, because it's the one, Afreeca is the one that trying Nashor right now to pull off DRX's side.
Yeah, True Shot Barrage not going to find anything. She gets booped back. As Mystic is frontlining, but Doran gets popped. Oh my goodness, this is the go button for Afreeca. Final chapter in once again, but Pyosik is dead before anything can happen. Yes, the Nautilus went down, but keep your eyes on Mystic. Deft is still up as well as Chovy trying desperately to get out of this fight. There's a flash forward from Mystic. Slicing Maelstrom's going to answer, and Aphelios is taken down. Deft is still alive. Arcane shifting forward. Fly goes golden with his counterfeit Zhonya's. He's going to die as well, and now Kiin, the last man standing. This could be the end of the game. As there goes Deft, flashes forward. DRX, if this is a 2-0, man, oh man. That's not how I was expecting a 2-0 to go down.
That was insane reaction by Doran at the same time. Yes, Mystic flashed in, but it was only less than 1 second, I felt like.
Yeah.
Doran instantly just flashed in with his ultimate, and one-shot it.
This is the game. This is the game. DRX somehow have stolen a 2-0
Oh my God.
right out from under the Afreeca Freecs. If they were demoralized after game 1, they 100% are now, and they're going to need a weekend in order to deal with this.